Hi, I'm a 33-year-old married woman living in the DC area, and I recently completed Larry's therapy group, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about why I found it so helpful. When I was 12 years old, my family moved to a new state, and I had to start at a new school where I didn't know any of the other kids, and that was a really difficult time for me. I felt like I didn't really fit in, and I struggled to make friends. Um, I thought that I was just a shy person, and that's who I was and who I would always be. So through high school and college, I made a couple of close friends, but I felt like I still didn't really fit in with most people, and I felt uncomfortable meeting new people and going to large social gatherings. I just always felt really nervous talking to people that I didn't know. Um, and but I just kind of accepted that that's who I was and that was my life, and I kind of learned to deal with it. But um, about 3 years ago, I moved back to the DC area after living abroad for a while, and I felt like the friends that I had before had either moved away or we had lost touch, and I just felt really depressed that I didn't have any close friends in the area. And I started going to a therapist who specialized in mindfulness, to help me kind of deal with general depression and also to help me kind of figure out how to make friends. But I felt like it didn't really get to the root of the problem. And at that time, I hadn't really determined that social anxiety was my issue, but I just felt like it wasn't working. And around the same time, I had started volunteering at a community garden, which I thought would help me make friends, get me to meet new people. But it really just highlighted the extent of my anxiety because, I noticed how easy it was for other people to interact with each other, where I just felt so nervous and uncomfortable. And mostly I felt like I was just bad at having conversations, like I never knew what to say. So I would be scripting a lot, like planning in my mind what to say next. And I would often avoid interacting with people there. I would, go off and do a job by myself so that I wouldn't have to talk to people. And in the moment that felt like a relief, but, in the long run it actually made it worse. It made me feel more lonely and isolated. And I guess that was sort of the low point that I reached. I realized I needed to do something different. It just wasn't working what I had tried before. So that's when I went online and did some research about different therapists, and I found Larry's website. And when I read the description of social anxiety and all the symptoms, I realized that that really fit me perfectly, which was kind of like a revelation. Like I never had put a name to it before. And so that made me feel relieved that there were other people out there experiencing the same thing, and there was a therapist actually treating that issue. So I went to the free workshop that Larry offered to see, sort of his style of therapy, and I was really impressed. I decided that doing the group therapy would be the best way to treat it for me. I had done individual therapy before with kind of minimal results, and especially for something like this where the whole goal is to interact with other people, even though it's scary, at first, I decided that being in the group would be the best. And it really was. Being around other people that have the same fears and understand your feelings was just so helpful, to have that support and encouragement, and also to have, the accountability of knowing that you would have to go back to the group next week and share what you had worked on and how you had struggled or improved, which both are part of the process. But I think I made a lot of progress by being in that group. Even after it's ended, I've continued to put myself in situations that do make me nervous, because anxiety doesn't just disappear forever after the group, but you do learn so many tools and strategies to help you deal with it. So now when I go into a situation that makes me nervous, like recording this video, I have tools I can use to prepare myself for it mentally, to calm myself down, and afterwards to, kind of process how it made me feel and look at what I can learn for the future. So I have those tools that I can use throughout my life to help me to continue to make progress and continue to try new things. So since the group has ended, I still put myself in situations where I'm meeting new people, which in the past I would have just avoided, but now I'm kind of actively pursuing those opportunities. And I've joined a dance group and a Brazilian martial arts group, which is intimidating because you have to perform in front of other people, but it's something that I really enjoy, and I feel like I'm gaining a lot of confidence from it, which is exciting. And I've also still hung out with a couple of people from the group even after it's ended. So the group is also another way to make friends, because you're really getting to know other people intimately, like being a lot more honest with each other than you might be with other people. So it's a really, really beneficial thing. So I would encourage anyone who struggles with any form of social anxiety to at least go to the free workshop that Larry offers and see what you think of it. And this therapy is the kind of thing that you get more out of it when you put more into it. So the more you put yourself in challenging situations and push yourself to grow, the more progress you will make. So I encourage all of you to go out and try it.